did have a bunch of good attacks, but Mulvaney, the 2 or 3 shots that he did, he was able to finish. And I think that's the key. He was very efficient, very strategic approach to this match, and it worked.
Exactly. And Kessler came out of the gate hot. He was immediately on his shots. He was just going again and again and again. But Mulvaney was able to defend every single time and got one stall call, and that was all.
Yeah, and I think the thing is, I thought the stall might change the way that Mulvaney approached the match, and it didn't. He just stuck to his match, and eventually he found himself in a good position, and he capitalized on that double leg takedown that really, for me, kind of changed the match. At that time, Kessler was searching, and he just never could find that takedown.
Right now, heading into the 174-pound matchup, the team scores a little bit closer than a Pitt fan might have thought. Number 14, Luca Augustine for the Panthers against number 27, Myles Takats for the Bucknell Bison.
Yeah, and let's see if Luca can get the Panthers back on track here. Again, he's a really good defensive wrestler. Exploded with a good offensive performance against Lehigh. So let's see if he can capitalize on that and really try to build on that performance he had against Lehigh.
Right, in that Lehigh performance, we discussed before the broadcast today that Augustine is, it's typically a close score, maybe a major decision every once in a while. He won his Lehigh match by technical fall.
Yeah, and that was big. I think it was a big step for Luca. It obviously was an important match for the Panthers to get that tech fall and the bonus points. And now, as you mentioned, this match has tightened up, and I think the Panthers now are searching for their first bonus point win.
Right, and his opponent on the Bucknell side, NCAA qualifier last season, 23-9 overall record, and actually defeated Augustine 4-1 in sudden victory last year.
So Luca is going to obviously want revenge for that match and see if he can kind of flip the script a little bit. And the thing that I've noticed about Luca is he's very comfortable kind of getting in these like upper body holds with opponents, getting that single underhook. We saw him get that position a couple times so far here.
One thing about the 174 weight class and some of the heavier weight classes is that your opponents get taller. Augustine is more of a shorter guy, and Takats is a bit of a taller one. So just playing along with that, how are you able to get in on a takedown and be able to keep your opponent down once you get them there?
Yeah, it's a good point, and it's fun when you see kind of different body types, especially as you mentioned when you get to the heavier weights. And I think that kind of compact body type for Luca is similar to kind of how he wrestles, right? He's very tight, closed in. He's difficult to get to his legs, and here you see a sprawl. It's one of the best in the country, really. You think you're in on Luca, and he just buries you underneath, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Augustine definitely almost a Cole Matthews style kind of wrestler if you've been following Pitt wrestling for a while. Very much so on his defense. Very,
very similar. Both really good top wrestlers. Very difficult to score on. And you mentioned the length of the cuts. And Luca continues to work.
Augustine gets the three-point takedown with no seconds remaining in the first period.
Oh my God, I know we have a basketball game later, but the Panthers start early with a buzzer beater there to end the first.
Beautiful play on words there, Dom.
I try, Katie.
Augustine option to start on bottom, looking for the escape or the reversal as we go in.
And to go back to that last second takedown, it was Luca just exploded, and it looked like Takats tried to spin out, and Luca just stayed with him, and eventually he was able to secure that takedown at the buzzer.
It's almost as though once you get to the last 5 seconds or so, there's typically like a gentleman's agreement of, like we're both tired, let's catch our breath. But Augustine, he saw his moment.
He did, and he took advantage, and that may have been our first takedown of the opening period. I can't remember another one, so it's definitely nice when you kind of get those takedowns and points scored in the first period, and you hope it opens up the action a little bit more.
Augustine up 3-0, but Takats just starting to build his ride time almost at the 1 minute mark as he's been able to stay on top the entire second period.
In a longer wrestler, sometimes that can present a challenge in its own right. He's working that Nelson there. Haven't really seen like a really great turning attempt here by the Bucknell wrestlers. Luca tries to get back to his feet. Here we go, another mat return.
No stall calls. Now, something interesting to note about Augustine, last year NCAA qualifier, he earned the NCAA Elite 90 award, which is given to the athlete with the highest cumulative GPA at the final site for each of the 90 NCAA championships. And like we mentioned earlier with Bucknell, lots of smart cookies on those teams. Augustine, he is also a bio major.
Yes, he might be the smartest cookie, to be quite honest. I mean, it's just, I think sometimes we lose sight of the fact that they are student athletes, and student really is the first part of that. So they're going to classes and challenging themselves, certainly Augustine is, with a very difficult curriculum, and not only challenging himself, but really meeting those expectations and exceeding them. To have that type of GPA, to win that award that you mentioned, given out to across all 90 NCAA championships, like that's a very great honor to have.
Right now, going into this third period, Bucknell able to procure almost 2 minutes of riding time, rode out Augustine for the entire second period, and now he's going to go to bottom.
And I'm interested to see what Augustine's approach here. Obviously, you'd like to take that riding time down under a minute.
As we've been mentioning with the difference in their sizes, Augustine a little bit shorter. It's a little bit more difficult to keep him down.
Yeah, the length can always present a challenge there as we have a little. And I think that little scramble we just saw there by Augustine is why he's so difficult to score against. I mean, Takats was he's very deep on that single leg. He has the length to do it. And Augustine was just able to bury his head underneath, continue to kind of circle his hips towards the center of the mat, and just never gave him an angle. There's a headlock there, attempt by Augustine. It's another good position. He's very good at just shutting an opponent down from even shooting at all.
Circling here on the edge of the mat with less than 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining in the third period. Riding time is a factor for Bucknell with 1 minute and 50.
Yeah. Myles will need a takedown, though. The riding time alone won't be enough. No stall warnings on either wrestler at the moment. So we've got a stalemate there, reset at the center. So we'll see if we get a fast start here by Takats.
Working in neutral, this match looking eerily similar to last year's.
It's just so difficult to get by that head-hands defense by Luca. He's just one of the best at it.
Still working in some ties. Here a few shouts of stalling. Not sure who's saying it, so I can't tell you what team it's for.
The thing is, sometimes it looks like Luca stalling, but look, they're at the center of the mat.
He's
they're right
still
on
working.
the pit symbol, yeah. Just because you can't get your shot and finish doesn't necessarily mean it's a stall.
Sometimes it's difficult to tell because if you're running out of bounds, obviously that is stalling, but in other instances, you got to keep working, and once they can see that you're working, it's not considered the stalling.
And here's Augustine trying to escape, and we got the two-point takedown at the end. Takats was able to keep those feet in bounds and pick up that takedown.
Toes on the edge of the mat to get that takedown. Riding time is still a factor as well.
And Bucknell all of a sudden charging here. Couple late takedowns in the last two matches.
Talking about buzzer beaters earlier, just Bucknell never stopped wrestling here.
And what a match here. Action till the end, and Takats is able to get that win. Oh, wow.
What a heartbreaker for Augustine as well. Just working the whole match the entire time, getting his shots in, great on defense. Just in the last second, got caught